Hey there, folks. Let me tell you a little tale about a guy named Xerxes. This guy was an absolute psychopath of a madman. Even the word narcissist doesn't do justice here because he legit thought of himself as a god. We're going back in time, way back to around 518 to 465 BC in the heart of Persia. So imagine this, ancient Persia, a sprawling empire, a land of opulence and power. And smack dab in the middle of all this grandeur stands our guy Xerxes, dripped in pounds of gold, who, by the way, was the son of the legendary Persian king, Darius the Great. Now Xerxes wasn't your typical ruler. He was a bit, shall we say, extravagant and completely psycho even by ancient time standard. He was born with one of the biggest trust funds in history, an empire stretching from Egypt to India. That's a lot of gold and resources at your disposal. There isn't a solid way to know his true net worth, but it was estimated close to $1 trillion. And Xerxes was determined to use them to make a name for himself. So one day Xerxes has an intrusive thought that went a little like this. Hey, I want to conquer Greece, you know? I mean, I'm not trying to be a control freak or anything, but I just can't help it. I've got this burning desire to expand my Persian Empire and show the world who's really boss. So, I'm gathering a pretty impressive army. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking 2 million strong, and that's not an exaggeration. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 million soldiers. That's the largest army the world has ever seen at that time. Maybe China today can match that number. He set out on this epic journey, crossing deserts, rivers, and mountains with a determination that was, well, let's just say, intense. Along the way, he built a bridge across the Hellespont, a narrow strait that separates Europe from Asia, to facilitate his army's crossing. But here's the kicker, a storm destroyed it. Twice! Xerxes, being the character that he was, didn't take kindly to nature's interference. So, he decided to punish nature by having his men whip the water. Yeah, you heard that right. He whipped the sea. You can tell he has a thing for BDSM. At this point, he had told his army, we will blot out the sun with our arrows. Anyway, Xerxes and his massive army eventually made it to Greece. They faced off against the mighty Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae, a battle that would go down in history. The Spartans, led by King Leonidas, were vastly outnumbered, but they fought like they were on every steroid you can get. Xerxes, watching from the sidelines, must have been scratching his head, thinking my men have become women, and my women, men. This is what happens when you bring an army of slaves versus real fighters. But Xerxes, being the sneaky rat he was, had more tricks up his sleeve. He sent spies to try and bribe the Greeks into surrendering, but the Greeks weren't having it. They knew the value of freedom, and they were willing to die for it. Plus, Xerxes was just gonna enslave them all anyways. Now here's where the story takes a bit of a twist. Xerxes had a secret weapon, or rather, a secret strategy, because if Plan A fails, get ready for Plan B. He had his men dig a canal to bypass the Greek navy at the Battle of Artemisium. This move caught the Greeks off guard, and they had to retreat. It was a tactical masterstroke by Xerxes, who was showing the world that he wasn't just a guy with a big army, but a cunning strategist as well. But as fate would have it, Xerxes' grand plan to conquer Greece hit a snag. His navy was defeated at the famous Battle of Salamis. The Greeks, with their smaller, more agile ships, outmaneuvered and outsmarted the Persian fleet. Xerxes must have been fuming. His dreams of conquest were slipping away. And it didn't get any better for him on land either. His army faced a brutal winter and was eventually defeated by the Greeks at the Battle of Plataea. This is what happens when your army is half naked and is comprised of a bunch of weak slaves. So Xerxes had to retreat, leaving his dream of conquering Greece in tatters. So what's the ending to this epic saga? Well, Xerxes didn't ride off into the sunset. Nope, he met a pretty grim fate, getting assassinated in 465 BC by this own man. Legend has it the person that assassinated him was jealous of his insane harem of women. Xerxes would keep all the thousands of beautiful women in the kingdom for himself. It's amazing that of all the evil things he did, it was being greedy with all the booty is what did him in. And so his empire eventually passed on to his son, Artaxerxes. That's all. Subscribe for more.